Good morning to all of you. So, hope you all are doing good. And so, how much we have studied yesterday? Are you? I think all of you are reading your textbook also. Read your textbook, okay? So, we were studying about naming of the compounds, right? How to name a compound, that we were studying. And in that, up to the third point, we have completed. And reminding how to name an acid, you know how you will name the acid. HCl, you will name it as hydrochloric acid. H2SO4, sulfuric acid. HNO3, nitric acid. That all you know how to name an acid. That it will not ask you how you will name an acid. It will not come. It will come, the formula will be given, write the name of the compound. Like that it will come. Okay, so that all don't want. Then one topic is there, trivial name. Okay, trivial, trivial, trivial name. Okay, this is the last naming of compound, trivial name. Okay, what do you mean by trivial name? So how you will name this compound? H2O, how you will name? Water only, right? We will not name it as dihydrogen oxide. Will you name? No. So there are some compounds which we have taken their name, and that name have no matching with their formulas. There is no water. Is there any matching with the elements given there? No. So there are some elements in which the names that does not follow any rules, like NH3, ammonia. Is there any name for, is there any connection with that elements and that name? No connection. So there are some names given to some compounds which are not following any rules of naming. That is known as trivial naming. Example, water and ammonia. Okay, that much only. So that all are not much important topics. Okay, so the topics that we are going to study now. So till now what we have studied, in that the important topics are symbols. Okay, atomicity means the total number of atoms present in a molecule. Okay, so atomicity, symbols, then formulas. Okay, atomicity, symbols, formulas, then how to find the valency, cross give the values, that, and what is valency, variable valency, that all are the important topics. Okay, radicals, etc. This naming, now that 5 points yesterday that we have studied, that all are not much important. Okay, and then now we are going to study, or today we are going to start the topic, how to calculate the valency from a formula. For that I am giving you this example. I will show you at the last. Okay, so first of all I am giving you one example. Find the valency of carbon. Okay, find the valency of carbon in carbon dioxide. So how you will find the valency of carbon in carbon dioxide? We know that first step, write the formula of carbon dioxide. Listen carefully, this step you have to write it in your notebook. Okay, very simple topic and very compulsory question, very important question in board exam. Last year also 5-mark question came from here. Okay, so first we have to write the formula of the compound. Which is the compound asked here? Carbon dioxide. So what is the formula of carbon dioxide? CO2. So here how many carbons are there? Only one carbon. That is why I have written one here. One C1O2. Carbon, oxygen. One carbon atom and two oxygen atom. So first of all write their formula with that number. With their number. Then what is the next step? Cross give that valencies, that number you have to cross give. So the two present in oxygen will go to carbon, and the one present in carbon will go to oxygen. So like this way you have to cross give that valency. So it will come as that valency you have to write at the top. So C2O1, like this way you will get. So what is the first step? Write the formula of the compound. Second step, cross give the valencies. That time we will get it as C2O1. Then what is the third step? Our question is, what is our question? To find the valency of carbon, right? So if the question is coming like this way, to find the valency of an element, we have to check that whether the valency of the next element, here which is the next element, oxygen, it is correct or not. That you have to check. Whether oxygen, here it is oxygen, so I am telling with oxygen. So if our question, here our question is find the valency of carbon. So we have to check whether oxygen's valency is correct or not. So what is the valency of oxygen given here? 1. So last year I told you to study the valency of first 20 elements. In that, what is the valency of oxygen? Oxygen valency is 2, but here it is given as 1 only. So it is wrong. Oxygen valency given here is wrong. So what we have to do is, if the valency of the second element is not correct, we have to make it correct first. Okay. So how you can change, correct the valency of oxygen? How you can correct? By multiplying this 1 with 2, 1 into 2, we will get it as 2. Okay. But the condition is, if we are multiplying one element, we have to multiply the other element also with the same number. Understand? If we are multiplying one number with multiplying an element with a number, we have to multiply the next element also with the same number. Clear? So here we have to multiply oxygen with 2. So what we have to do? See, we have to multiply oxygen with 2. That time we will get 1 into 2 for oxygen. Same way that 2 we have to multiply with carbon also. So carbon, already carbon have 2 over there. So carbon will become 4, oxygen will become 2. So now oxygen's valency is correct. Now oxygen became correct valency. So at that time, when that element will become correct, that time you have to check whether which is the number present in carbon. That will be the valency of carbon. So what is the number of present for carbon here? 4. So therefore the valency of carbon in carbon dioxide is 4. Understand? Now oxygen valency is correct. So the valency of carbon in carbon dioxide is 4. So once more I will explain the same topic. Listen carefully. Very important topic. Okay. Find the valency of carbon in carbon dioxide. What is the first step? Write the formula of carbon dioxide. CO2. Okay. And C means 1 carbon only. So C1O2. Next point, cross give the valencies. 1 will go for oxygen and 2 will come with the carbon. So C2O1. That number we have to write at the top. Now what happened? Our question is to check carbon valency. So first we have to check whether oxygen valency is correct. Okay, first we have to check that whether the oxygen's valency is correct. So if it is wrong, then what we have to do? Then first correct it. So if oxygen's valency is wrong, then what we have to do? Correct to oxygen's valency. So what is the valency of oxygen given here? Here oxygen valency given is 1. CO1 is given. Right. So what we have to do? We have to change the valency. But the actual valency of oxygen is 2. So how you will change? To make the valency of oxygen 2, multiply with 2. Understand? So if we are multiplying an element, what we have to do? Then we have to multiply the other element also with the same number. We have to multiply the second element also with that is same number. So how it will come? Carbon also you have to multiply with 2. Oxygen also you have to multiply with 2. That time carbon will become 4. Oxygen will become 2. C4O2. So now the oxygen valency is correct. Now the oxygen valency is correct. So the present valency of carbon, what is the present valency of carbon? 4. So when the other element became correct, so the valency of the carbon in carbon dioxide is 4. So like this way we will find the valency of an element. Clear? Then going to the second example. Find the valency of hydrogen in water. Okay. How you will find? First of all, write the formula of water, H2O. Next, write the number, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So H2O1. Next, what we have to do? Cross give their valency. So what will happen? 1 will come to hydrogen and 2 will go to oxygen. So H1O2. So our question is, which one's valency? Hydrogen's valency. So we have to check whether oxygen valency is correct or not. Here what is the valency of oxygen? 2. Is it correct? Yes, oxygen valency is always 2 only. So it is correct. So we don't want to do any multiplication or division or anything. Okay. So here oxygen's valency is correct. So therefore what we can say? First we have to check that whether valency of the other element is correct. Here the oxygen valency is 2. So it is correct. So we don't want to do any another correction. So therefore the valency of hydrogen in water is 1 only. We don't want to do any calculation. Directly we can write the valency of hydrogen. Understand? So same the example given in your textbook. Now I am going to show you the example in your textbook. How to find it? First our question is find the valency of nitrogen. Find the valency of nitrogen. That is a question. So first nitrogen in nitrogen dioxide. So what we have done? First we have written the formula of nitrogen dioxide, NO2. Then what they have done? The valency of oxygen is NO2. This is the formula. That means 1 nitrogen and 2 oxygen. Next step is cross giving the valencies N2O1. 2 will come to nitrogen and 1 will go for oxygen. So N2O1. Like this way we got. Then next our question is check whether the valency of nitrogen. So if we have to check the one element, we have to check whether the second element valency is correct. So here it is oxygen. What is the valency of oxygen? Valency of oxygen is 2, but here it is given only 1. So what we have to do? Multiply with 2. If we are multiplying one element with a number, second element also you have to multiply with the same number. So nitrogen also multiplied with 2, oxygen also multiplied with 2. That time we will get as N4O2. So now oxygen valency is correct. So we can say therefore the valency of nitrogen is 4. Understand? Thus from the formula NO2 we find that nitrogen, the valency of nitrogen is 4. Clear now? How to find the valency of a compound? Very important. Last year also 5 mark question was there in the board exam. Clear? So here this much only about how to find the valency of a compound. Okay. So then see in your textbook page number 9. Page number 9 exercise questions are given. Exercise 1A. In that here I have circled some questions. Here I have only from this page, another page some more exercise are there that you have to do it in your textbook only. Okay. Exercise 1A. What is a symbol? What information does it convey? So the circled questions you have to do it in your notebook. Compulsory it is. Okay. Circled questions all of you should do it in your notebook. From this mark it in your textbook the same questions and write it in your notebook. Clear? All of you should write these circled question answers with the question and answer in your notebook. I will give you, not now, after the completion of the chapter I will give you the answers for these questions. So before that, no, I am not going to give. Read your textbook and find the answer by yourself. I will not give you the answers. Okay. Simple topics only. So everything I have explained from your textbook, read the textbook and write the answers. Okay. So next we are going to study chemical equation. What do you mean by a chemical equation? What is a chemical equation? See, if I am telling hydrochloric acid reacted with sodium hydroxide to give salt and water. Simply if I am telling, is it good to understand? Nothing you will understand from that, right? So instead, if I am writing it as an equation, another example, hydrogen combined with oxygen to form water molecule. So simply telling that is a chemical reaction. But if we are representing with a symbolic way, okay, then on looking on that equation, we can say the reaction, right? So what is a chemical equation? The symbolic representation of a chemical reaction is called chemical equation. The symbolic representation of a chemical reaction is called chemical equation. So here, first one, carbon. Some examples of chemical equations are carbon, C plus O2 gives CO2. So on looking this equation, you can say carbon combined with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Next, H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Hydrogen combined with oxygen to give water. So simply writing a long lengthy sentence, instead of that it is easy to represent with symbols. So what do you mean by chemical equation? Equation means it is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Understand? So the elements or the compounds which are present at the left hand side of the arrow mark. See here one arrow mark is given, right? So on the left hand side of the arrow mark, these are known as reactants. Okay, and the elements or the compounds which are found at the RHS, right hand side of the reaction of the arrow, is known as the product. So how you will give the definition? What is a reactant? Reactant means the substances taking part in a chemical reaction is known as reactant. And what is a product? The substances formed after a reaction is called product. Okay, don't get confused. Reactant means the substances taking part in a chemical reaction is known as reactant, and the substances which are formed after a reaction is called product. Clear? Understood? Then, so next we are going to study how we will balance an equation. We know that according to law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms present in the reactant side and the number of atoms present in the product side should be always equal, right? Which law it is? Law of conservation of mass. What it was? Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be changed from one form to another, and the total mass remains same. So the total mass or the total number of atoms present in LHS and the total number of atoms present in RHS should be always same. So that what we have, if it is not correct, means we have to make it correct by balancing. So that we are going to study how to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so listen carefully. So balancing equation, how to balance an equation. Okay, so for that here I am writing a formula. Carbon, one reaction I am writing here. Carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon monoxide, okay, or carbon dioxide, both are okay, both products will form carbon monoxide. I am writing, simply I am writing one. So here now I am going to make the symbolic representation of the reaction. So what is the symbolic representation of a reaction? Called chemical equation. So I am writing the chemical equation. Carbon combines with what? Carbon combines with oxygen. Oxygen's formula is O2. Carbon combines with oxygen to form what? Carbon monoxide, CO. Okay. So this reaction, what we have to, according to the law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms in the reactant side and the number of atoms in the product side should be always equal. Okay. So here you see, here one atom of carbon is present in LHS. In RHS also only one atom. So carbon is balanced. But in the case of oxygen, there are two oxygen in the LHS side, but only one oxygen in the RHS side. So for carbon it is balanced, but oxygen is not balanced. Okay, so this is a chemical equation, symbolic representation of a chemical reaction, but it is not balanced, right? These type of equations are known as skeleton equation. Okay, skeleton, skeleton, skeleton equation. What is a skeleton equation? Skeleton equation means the the symbolic representation of a chemical equation, chemical reaction which is not balanced. Okay, the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction which is not balanced is called skeleton equation. Okay, or skeleton reaction. Skeleton equation only we will tell. So what is a skeleton equation? The symbolic representation of a chemical reaction without, which is not balanced, is known as skeleton equation. So how we will balance the equation? There are two methods to balance equation. One is hit and trial method. Hit and trial method. and the second one is partial equation method. Partial equation method. This method, the partial equation method, in 9th standard it is not there in our syllabus. Okay, in 9th syllabus partial equation method is not there, but only hit and trial method we have to use. Study the same method we have studied in 8th standard also. Hit and trial method, that we will draw the table and we will do no. Same is hit, that is hit and trial method. Partial equation method is not there in our syllabus. Okay, but it is mentioned in your textbook. It is not in our 9th standard syllabus. Okay, so what is a skeleton equation? The skeleton equation means it is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction, but which is not balanced properly, or which is not balanced, is known as skeleton equation. So, how to balance an equation? There are two methods for balancing a chemical reaction or chemical equation. First one is hit and trial method, and the second one is partial equation method. Okay, so the first method, hit and trial, that we are going to study now. So, first method is hit and trial. Listen, same example I am taking which I have mentioned above. Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon monoxide. So, for that, all of you know how to balance. For those who don't know to balance, listen carefully. You have studied in 8th standard only simple equations. In 9th it will come big equations. So, balancing will be very difficult. 4-5 steps you have to use. So, first we have to write the elements, then reactant and product. Okay, here which are the elements? Carbon and oxygen only. Reactant side, how many carbon are there? 1 carbon. Product side, how many carbon are there? 1 carbon. Okay, then how many oxygen are there in reactant side? Reactant side means LHS. How many are there? 2. RHS only 1. So, from this one we can say carbon is balanced, right? Carbon is balanced, but oxygen is not balanced. So, how we will balance oxygen? Which side it is less? Product side it is less. For that, what we have to do? Multiply, which one? Multiply, what we have to multiply? Carbon monoxide. We cannot multiply at the bottom. That is not the proper rule. We have to multiply at the in front of the compound only. Okay. No addition, no subtraction, no division. Only multiplication is possible. So, here we are multiplying O with O. If we are multiplying with 2. So, multiply carbon monoxide. We cannot multiply oxygen alone. Carbon monoxide with which number? 2. That time what we will get? Carbon plus oxygen gives 2 into carbon monoxide. So, again we have to write elements, reactant, product. Okay, when you are writing, write the full name. Okay, element carbon, element oxygen. Carbon LHS side, how many carbon are there? Only 1 carbon. RHS side, how many carbon are there? 2 carbon. LHS side, how many oxygen are there? 2 oxygen. RHS side, how many oxygens are there? 2 into 1. 2 oxygen. So, now oxygen is balanced, carbon is not balanced, right? So, here we have to take now our step is to balance carbon. So, which side is containing less number? Reactant side. So, multiply. How we will make it as 2? Multiply with 2. What we have to multiply? Carbon. So, next step is multiply carbon with 2. That time what we will get? 2 carbon plus oxygen gives 2 CO, right? So, now same table we have to draw, that I will draw. in the next page. Okay. So what was our equation? 2 carbon plus oxygen gives 2 CO. So elements, reactant, product. Element carbon and oxygen. LHS, how many carbon are there? 2 carbon. RHS, how many carbon are there? 2 carbon. This 2 is common for carbon and oxygen. Okay. Then LHS, how many oxygens are there? 2 oxygen. RHS, how many oxygens are there? 2 oxygen. So now all elements are balanced. So therefore the balanced equation is 2C plus O2 gives 2CO. So this is the balanced equation, and this method is known as hit and trial method. And in our coming classes we will do more and more examples. Okay. Try to solve your exercise questions which I have marked. That questions you have to solve in your notebook itself. Okay. Take care all of you. Thank you.